Hey everyone, it's Jen here. I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading for what were you in a past life. So I thought that's a kind of a fun topic. So for the first group we have the Steampunk Tarot, and I just got this crystal yesterday. I don't think I bought one crystal last year, but I splurged, and it is, let me read it, Cacoxenite. Some may be Super 7. So that's that one. This is the Anna K Tarot and Rose Quartz. And then this last one here, I'm completely forgetting the Pagan Tarot, the Pagan Witch Tarot. I can't remember the name of this right now while I'm doing it, but that has malachite with it. Also a new stone. I haven't worked with malachite. I heard it's very powerful. We'll see. Okay, so group one. Let's get going with group one. What were you in a past life, group one? Just go ahead and take a deep breath while I'm shuffling here. Here we go. Let's get one more. For what was group one in a past life? There we go. So let's look at the bottom. Sorry. Oh my God. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords, this is a young air sign. It's a messenger. So you could have been a messenger, a writer, correspondence of some sort. If we're thinking this was in the past, I mean, it could be an actual, it could be the person writing the message or delivering the message. There's a balloon in the background here. I mean, this could be, again, I'm going towards transportation or something like that, or delivering goods. So perhaps you had some sort of product, probably intellectual though, because it does look with the air, it's very much, okay, it could be, I'm also getting legal, lawyer, something with money, with banks, with loans, with wills, even though that can kind of go into the pentacles. I'm getting that here. So some sort of professional, I would say. So it's either some sort of professional or someone like an assistant to a professional that has to be educated themselves. Because a lot of people were illiterate in the past. It's actually a very modern thing for most of society to expect. I mean, we just expect literacy in the US at least, right? Which is really hard when my son's super dyslexic, but there's a level of education and intellectual needing to use your brain while you work. 9 of Wands. So I'm getting another travel vibe here. He has, oh God, what are those called? Periscope? No, that's a submarine. Whatever that is. So he's maybe stoking a big fire. I mean, this is the steampunk. So like on a ship. So travel again, and also looking out. So a scouting things out, looking to the future. Something to do with maps, writing that down is coming too. I almost saw a map up here when I just it's a gear, but when I just kind of looked. an explorer of some sort as well. Exploring new, it could be the like the modern, the what would be a modern day version of like an Instagram influencer who blogs on their journeys, or you know what I'm saying, and uh, checks new things out and chronicles their adventures. Could of course be novels as well. The Nine of Wands, it's although there's a level of intellectual education required, it seems for some of you. Um, I feel like it still is hard work. It's it's as much of a more of a day job, like a desk job. There is definitely maybe it's just a sign of the times, but I feel like there's also a component of physical work, but also a stamina needed, because it isn't like you're loaded. Like you have to work hard to make ends meet, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. And now we have the Knight of Swords. So this is definitely someone communicating, someone trying to um, oh, it's really interesting. I'm getting a strong Aquarian vibe here. So, yes, Aquarians are very forward thinking, right? So this could be, I don't know when the last Aquarian time was, though, if that's even possible. Um, I guess anything's possible, but very forward thinking, future thinking. Maybe doing some sort of science is coming through as well. It's reminding me of Enola Holmes. Did you ever see that? Henry Cavill was in it, so that's why I watched it. It was cute. Um, yeah, like so people before it's people would experiment on their own. Think of like Belle's father in Beauty and the Beast. I don't know why I'm getting things like that. People thought he was very odd because he was very forward thinking and experimented with things. So I'm going to say you were definitely forward thinking and challenged current beliefs and maybe did your own experiments, or definitely went your own way, forged your own path. So there's that exploration again, but this could be intellectually or with norms of the time. Someone who saw new things as an opportunity or a challenge themselves to figure things out in a different way than just going along with the cultural standard at the time. Page of Wands. So more messages. This is something you're inspired, enthusiastic about, creativity. Again, going back to writing, these two would be strong with that. Someone who had their own business, made their own money, um, in sort of a unique way. So what am I getting here? I'm almost getting a street performer vibe from this one. So there is a theatrical quality to the fire signs, the drama. Um, there's only one person in each of these cards, which um, isn't rare, but they're definitely cards with lots of cards with more than one people, more than one person in it. So you may have been a bit of a loner, but again, it's going out, forging that new path. Maybe you lived in many different locations, but you may have been single for a while. Um, And that in and of itself, especially if you were a woman back in that time, that would be, you would be labeled as, a spinster or something. It's reminding me a little bit of Miss Fisher's Mysteries. Oh yeah, that's interesting. But that's sort of mind, like trying to figure things out, forward thinking, not being stuck in a box and stuck in the time, um, but kind of knowing there's more and having a different way of looking at things than other people, which was maybe kind of isolating for you. Maybe you had nothing in your seventh house. I have nothing in my seventh house, and I got an astrology reading, and she said, I wonder if you prefer to be alone too. She's like, I have nothing in my seventh house, and I mean, I've had relationships, I have children, but I've never felt the need to really attach a strong desire to attach myself to anyone. So it was just kind of interesting to think about. It's like someone though was waiting for you. Maybe so I do see you getting together with someone, but maybe later in life, which would be like 25, right? Back in the day, you'd be an old spinster. But maybe you lived a little, maybe you somehow got educated, and traveled to do that, and had some truly worldly experience. But then you came back because there was just someone from where you were from that's just a just salt of the earth, they'd say, hardworking person at the time, and they waited for you that whole time because they were so devoted to you and loved you so much. So you had to go out and kind of find yourself and have these adventures. But then you did come back to this person, and they waited. They waited for you that whole time. So for some reason, I'm getting a vibe that you did settle down at some point, but you had to experience life first. So I got a new deck of cards. Yes, I went to the spiritual store and I got 2 new crystals and a new card deck. And what else did I get? Oh, and some candles. I don't think I bought any crystals last year. So this is a gemstone, and what is happening on my screen? Oh no. What did I do? Sorry. Gemstone angel, so appetite. Are you feeling agitated? Is there something you find hard to swallow? Are you having digestive difficulties? Pay attention to what you're thinking and talking about while you eat. Wholesome foods, thoughts, and conversations can make things easier to process and accept. That's interesting. So I wonder if something about your digestive tract plagued you in a past life. And what's the angel? Angel of digestion. Oh, dear. Maybe you're a cook. Maybe those are ovens and that person's a cook. My appetite is balanced and healthy, and my digestive system is functioning normally. I'm at ease with my physical body. I am comfortable with my surroundings. The people and situations in my life nourish me. So, if you were a big traveler, you may have gotten scurvy. You may have suffered some lacking some nutrients because of that, which makes a lot of sense. Or maybe you had to get good at foraging wherever you were because you had to learn like the plants. So maybe you were into herbs. Maybe you were a bit of a healer and sort of traveled around for that. But it takes obviously a knowledge of things like that. So this doesn't have to be traditional, university. This could just be an apprenticeship, which I think it would have been pretty common back then. So maybe you went away for an apprenticeship to study and learn some sort of skill that you then brought back. But on the voyage, perhaps you weren't able to get all the nutrients you needed and suffered from that ailment a bit. I don't see any. Well, we have the pages here. I was going to say I don't see any kids, but that's not true. I do see 2 pages, so 2 younger people. The change in thinking makes me the Knight of Swords. I always think of as a change in thinking, a shift in perspective. So you would have been someone who really thinks deeply about things, not just going through the motions, but again, more forward thinking, more spiritual thinking. What does this all mean? And maybe even on your travels, you came into contact with people of maybe some Eastern religions that influenced you in some way, influenced the way you think about things. But I feel like you would have had some sort of experience that really would have affected you and really shift your perspective on things, if that makes sense. So maybe you experienced or saw something that has always stuck with you. Okay, and the other thing, so I'm not even pretending that I'm making this up, but I've seen a lot of readers are using charms, which I love, but I don't have charms, so I'm not going to go out and try to buy a bunch of charms. Maybe someday, maybe I'll run into some at a like a flea market or something, or I could look online because I think those are kind of fun. But I really sort of like the letters. So I'm going to make noise and dig in this bowl. I'm using Scrabble alphabet soup. So anyway, here we go. Lots of noise. Let's see if any names or anything comes up. A B. I don't know what that's supposed to be in that game. So we have an M, O. Whoops. I don't know if I can stand these up. I can't stand the cards up. E, Mo. A blank card, so anything you want, and some eyes. Me, so I see me and I. So maybe you were more of a loner. That's what's sticking out. I also could get money in there if I had to, MONEY or EI. But with this being a blank tile, you could really, that's, I think, giving you freedom to sort of, I mean, there could be Joe, that could be a J, it could be Joe, Joseph, Josephine. Okay. All right, so that is it for group 1. Let's move on to group 2. I'm going to make noise again. So for group 2, we had the Anna K Tarot. So let me write down what time it is because I'm too lazy to go back. Okay, group 2. So we are going with the Anna K Tarot. I just dropped my pencil. Oops, so that one's going to come out. I hope you're doing well. So we're just going to try to see if we can get some insight into your past life. Whatever comes out, maybe what you did for a living, maybe what your family life was like, a little bit of what your personality was like. That's on the bottom here. 7 of Cups. I mean, what I instantly saw before I even paid attention, I just looked at the picture on this card. It looked like someone praying, someone down on their knees praying. Also a little bit of a begging. But it's kind of funny. It looks like either like a chocolate waterfall or to me red wine, which would be kind of funny. You know how they have those waterfalls? I've never been somewhere. I've only seen them on movies of champagne or something. So a celebration, but I also see a real theatrical. So you may have been a performer in some way, something creative, artistic. Um, yeah, I just see this looks like a dramatic scene, maybe in a play or something. But I'm also getting a strong nun vibe with the. I went to Catholic school for 12 years, so I'm definitely seeing a strong nun vibe with the kneeling and the praying sort of um, posture as well. So the Seven of Cups is this is at the bottom, so just kind of getting a base theme for a past life. This would be someone who's either very creative, very daydreamy, potentially a Pisces, but a little bit scattered, a little bit ungrounded. Um, And so that could really be you, or it could be a perception of that time that people didn't appreciate or really understand your creativity. And, just like great artists often don't, are not celebrated until after they're gone. Um, that type of thing. So you could have been in the creative arts and or performance arts, or very, very devoted to something, probably like a religion, or religion could have just been very religious, attended church often. The high priestess, so I am getting a connection with spirit, with a higher something, but also really feeling that inside yourself. So really feeling a connection to your intuition, to other things maybe not seen. You could have really followed the moon's been a pagan, and the moon cycle and the cycles of the earth and the wheel of the year. That may have been something that you were really in tune to, more living off the land and really having to understand and read the natural surroundings in order to thrive. This is can be pregnancy. So I definitely see that there were children, regardless of whether you're able to have children, that there were children in your life. I also see you living to a ripe old age, that you made it through all the cycles of the moon. You had a full life. And your creativity came from this connection you have. You would feel that it kind of flowed out of you versus you trying to pull things out of your brain, being more of a conduit. The devil, I love it. You may have struggled with alcohol in the past, or some sort of anxiety or anything like that that kind of trips us up, that sort of more obsessive behavior. You may have had something that plagued you throughout your life, like I think we all do, and whether it's worrying about other things. You could have been attached to someone you could have grown up. I'm just noticing this bloody sword, good Lord. These cards can seem so sunny. A lot of them are really sunny and yellow, but some are pretty dark. You may have grown up in a time of battle and having to deal. Maybe there was this probably seems like a lot of the past world lived during the time of a dictator who ruled with an iron fist. Yeah, and look at hoarded all the money. Or you may have been with someone that just really um, was sort of a person of the time that didn't really value everyone the same in the same way. And so I almost see you retreating into your own, like you had your own full, you were able to compartmentalize from the realities of society and still find fulfillment in your own way. Because there was a confidence that you were of value regardless of where, how you were born, what you were born into. See, here's the yellowness of these cards. So here's the beautiful Chariot. This is a Cancer person. I don't get how the Chariot and Cancer go together. What's that house? Anyway, you may have fled, actually. You may have grown up somewhere where there was a lot of political and societal unrest or war, and you moved, you left, you had to, or maybe had to flee to a new place. But it's like you always kept grounded, you always kept your maybe you brought your culture with you. Like that was something very much a part of you and kept you grounded when you were forced to flee or decided to leave because what was going on around you just wasn't cool at all. So the chariot has purposeful action. So it may not have been you fleeing in the middle of the night without being able to even collect your belongings type of fleeing. This seems like more of a plan. I am going to take this chance and go somewhere else and start a new life and make that happen because I've really thought through it and this isn't working for me. So I am going to move on. There's also like an ascension here with this. So we have all the moon cycles and then the sun, this full sun, being enlightened, being again following some sort of spiritual, having some sort of core confidence and being able to have that carry you through your life and really ground you. The chariot has to do with transportation as well on a very mundane level. But I feel like you really knew what you wanted and went after it. But I feel like a lot of your life it's like you found joy in the simple pleasures and the calm and peace of housework or cutting wood or whatever you had to do in the midst of chaos. It's like you unknowingly meditated by finding these things that feed your soul in order to enable you to wherever you ended up to be at peace and to be happy. You could have fled. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I got a new deck of cards. So I'm going to pull one of these and then I'm going to pull some letters. I'm not pretending that I'm making this up. Everyone has those fun charms now, which I think are fun, but I don't have any charms and I'm not going to go out. I don't know how you go out and buy charms. But I do have a Scrabble game that I'm going to pull some letters because I think that's fun to see. I always see things in the letters myself. So the stone you got for this card is red jasper. It says, are you procrastinating? Take action and complete what you have planned. Speak up for yourself. Follow through and take the necessary steps to see your projects to fruition. Have confidence in your own ability to make things happen. So I feel like that was the lesson you learned. You learned that's very chariot-like, to make things happen and not just sit around and wait for some outside force to come in and influence the situation. Angel of action. I am grounded and focused on the task at hand. I creatively complete projects so that I can enjoy and share the end result. I am motivated to accomplish all that needs to be done. So this might be loud. I'm going to dig in my little bowl of letters here. So if you have earphones in, yes, this is a Scrabble game. Nothing but class over here on Tarot Spirit Channel. So I have lots of H's, E, hen, probably had chickens. I think everyone probably had, a lot of people probably had their own chickens. Bit, bite, maybe you got bit by something. We, so let's take a look at those, see if anything. Ben, I see the name Ben. Wit, white, so maybe you were white. 10. Tin, maybe you had something to do working with tin. Bin. When. Okay, so just, if you see any names or any words in there that grab your attention, then that's for you. And now we're going to move on to group 3. Okay, group 3. So we are going, sorry, I hope that wasn't loud. We are going to be looking at some cards to try to get a little bit of insight into a past life you may have had. Let me write down what time this is. 32. Oh my God, it's taking me so long to find a pencil. 45. Okay, group 3. So let's see if we can get a little bit of insight. You know what I was just thinking? I'm doing past, that wanted to come out. Past life, but could this be a future life? I mean, whoa, trippy shit going on over here. But why couldn't, if time is fluid, why couldn't we have lived a future life and not just a past life? So maybe I should change that. But that's really, I don't know why that's coming up just for you, this group. So something about being a time traveler. I know that sounds ridiculous, but this is all sort of ridiculous on some level, but fun. That's why I like it. Oh, the High Priestess group 2 had the High Priestess too. Yeah, so there's some sort of hidden, mystical, magical side that you maybe had to hide about yourself. Maybe you were very, very psychic. Maybe, yeah, and you foresaw things and you had to be careful because people found it, the wrong people found it threatening. So you had a secret life, maybe in that society, if who you loved and all those things could actually, well, they still could, but be very dangerous. So maybe you had to hide your sexuality, or some sort of mystical gift that you had or metaphysical gift. I see you being a teacher though here. There's a group of people. So teaching, maybe you were an elder, a healer, a preacher, or of some kind, that you had a little bit of a following, or you had maybe land that you had other people live and work on, And so you were in some sort of leadership position. But I almost see this almost looks like I just got her disciples. I'm not saying you're Jesus. But that kind of a vibe, even of just really connecting with someone. It would be the modern day equivalent would be someone you really liked on Instagram, or someone's books that you really, really dug. But it would have been more word of mouth back in this time, because not everyone read. Six of Cups. So you probably had children. You probably, though, had a simple life, maybe on purpose. You appreciated just having a roof over your head and maybe staying out of the fray a little bit. So this could be, I see you maybe living in the country as opposed to a big city. Six of Cups, you may have married someone from your childhood, someone that you grew up with, which I don't think would be super uncommon, but okay, I'm going to keep going here. Another Six of Pentacles. You could have been a banker. You could have been, although it almost looks like in this card, this same person is going to this person. He has paperwork, inheritance paperwork, getting a loan, getting professional advice. This could be getting some sort of certificate. I'm seeing all these like diplomas. So maybe you were educated and then moved out in the country. I'm sure people did that back in the day too, right? The big city's not for me. I want to see if I can go out and help people who can't come here. This is a very charitable, altruistic, if you need something, a give and take. So maybe whatever you did for work, it was a barter system. As much as it was for money, it was more of a people paid you in whatever their thing was, whether it was eggs. My dad, actually, when he was a pediatrician, I remember when I was little, I'm 50, people would pay him we're from Vermont, maple syrup, homemade bread, eggs, meat, and whatever kind of, it was a very dairy farm place, lots of dairy farmers, so milk, all sorts of things like that. Seven of Cups. So this came up for group 2 as well. So that's interesting that you have a connection to group 2. So I would say this wasn't that you've come back many times. I almost get that you kind of like to come back if you believe in many lives and having that review when you go back to your soul family or whatever off this physical plane and doing your review, and then you're so excited to experience things and go back that you really sort of have a chill nature about you in whatever incarnation you're in, if that's the right word. I don't want to be disrespectful. Whatever past life or future life you're in. So maybe that's what makes you so even-keeled, and because there's just give and take. There's enjoying the simple things in life. There's a creative aspect. You may have prophetic dreams. And you dreamt of the future, of past. Maybe you actually dream of other lives. That's the way to say it, other lives instead of past lives. Maybe you're really aware of when you come into contact with your soul, someone that's from your soul family, when you're in one of these lives. You really connect with them. Because I'm seeing you were royalty in one. All sorts of different experiences. And you really like that. So let's get one of these new cards I got. Pyrite. It took me a second. Whoops. Took me a second to figure out how to say that because I have trouble with language. Pyrite. Are you worried about money? Are you willing to accept prosperity into your life? You can earn unlimited income, unlimited income doing what you love. Use your skills, follow your dreams, have confidence, believe in yourself and your ability to be successful. I see very much a confidence in this reading of just, I can give and help people and it will come back. Just kind of a very openness, maybe even like a sage energy too. It's going to be okay. There's more than enough to go around. And so if I can give, I'll give. And then if I need something, I'm sure I'll be able to, that'll come my way. Angel of entrepreneurship. I am prosperous and abundant in all of my endeavors. I have limitless potential and I fulfill my highest purpose. That's got me thinking of that. I naturally attract whatever I need to be joyous and successful. I earn unlimited income doing what I love. Yeah, so an entrepreneur. I see you as just being one of those people that people just enjoyed hanging out with, being around. Maybe you were really funny, really good with kids. You just had a way with people. He's smiling, talking to you. And you just, I think, in this life, just kind of glided through it with it. You with an acceptance, a presence of being present, and just enjoying it, and not getting too hung up on worries. Like that was something you had mastered when you came into this life. Cool. Oh, so I'm going to make some noise. I was saying, so if you have earphones in, you're warned. I know a lot of readers have a lot of charms, which I don't have any charms, so I can't do that. But which I think are fun. But I really like the letters, and I have this Scrabble game from when my son was little. So, oh my God, this is interesting, right? You may have been Jewish. I just found out that I was Jewish. I'm adopted, and I did the DNA, and I am, I think, 30% Jewish, which is hysterical because I went to Catholic school. I think that's funny. So you could have been Jewish. You could have been assigned male. You probably were in a relationship. I just heard wedge. I don't know what the hell that would mean. So whatever else you're seeing, hi, he, we, I could do, it's interesting. I could do, even though it just said Jewish, I could do, if you make that an M, I could, oh no, there's no N. For some reason I heard amen, just kind of funny. Maybe you fell in love with someone that was of a different faith. I see ew. I see awe. Maybe people were in awe of you. Anyway, so take anything. Am I seeing any names? I'm not really seeing J. I have a friend named Jay. Jaw. Maybe you're known for pulling people's teeth out. I don't know where that came from. Jaw. Okay, so that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas for pick a card readings, please leave them below. I want to do different content. I want to mix things up. I'm a little bored, so I'm sure you guys are bored with my readings too. So I'd love any suggestions. If you wanted to leave them down below, that would be fantastic. All right, thanks so much. Bye.